Trump's demystifying the idea that all these Washington institutions are perfectly independent. The New World Order won't be set at a summit in Switzerland by bankers, politicians, and economists who look like woolly mammoths. Globalism's over, and we're taking Davos down with it.
Welcome, Patriots. And today we're going to discuss some very bold moves by Donald Trump that are indeed shaking up Washington in particular. So, stop everything you're doing and get ready to find out how he's tearing down the status quo and building a new future for the United States. And stay with us until the end, because this is absolutely a video you won't want to miss.
Fox News alert. President Trump just signed an executive order declassifying and releasing all files related to the JFK, RFK, and MLK assassinations. Watch.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Only fair that Bobby gets the Sharpie. This order instructs the Director of National Intelligence and the Attorney General to come up with a plan within 15 days for the full and complete release of the JFK files, and 45 days for the release of the RFK and MLK archives. These are tens of thousands of documents that have never been seen before, that have been buried for over 60 years. Primetime will have full coverage on the day they drop. 47 signed a flurry of executive orders this afternoon, and some of them could make you rich.
I only have one thing to say. Get ready for this term, because Trump is not just opening files. No, he's opening the eyes of the American people to the truth that has been hidden for decades. And now you're going to be absolutely shocked to find out what else Washington is hiding from all of us.
This is the crypto EO. We're going to be forming an internal working group to make America the world capital in crypto under your leadership.
Which is really going up, right?
Absolutely.
All right, David, that's for you.
Thanks, sir.
You find them exciting? They might not be exciting, but they're going to make a lot of money for the country.
I don't own any crypto. Should that change? Trump says rates are coming down, whether Jerome knows it or not.
The interest rates will come down.
You said that you would demand that the interest rates come down.
Well, I would.
Do you expect
I
the
would put
Fed-
in a strong statement.
Do you expect the Fed to listen to you?
Yeah.
Trump's demystifying the idea that all these Washington institutions are perfectly independent. Biden would never tell his attorney general what to do. Obama would never talk to the Fed chair about rates. I can't be seen talking to a justice. That would be unethical. The Washingtonian virtue signaling is history. Presidents don't have to be shy about power, and having an opinion isn't illegal anymore. Trump's not whispering and tiptoeing around D.C. Same thing with Davos. Once a year, the financial elite gather in a tax haven, hire escorts, and stroke each other's egos, then dictate how the rest of us are going to live. Brain implants, bugs for dinner, and willy-nilly windmills. Kerry's usually falling off his bicycle, and Al Gore's screaming about rain bombs or misinformation. This year, though, was a little different. The newly minted president zoomed in as a symbol of disrespect and told Davos they aren't dictating anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Well, thank you very much, Klaus, and hello to everyone in beautiful Davos. This has been a truly historic week in the United States. 3 days ago, I took the oath of office, and we began the golden age of America. What the world has witnessed in the past 72 hours is nothing less than a revolution of common sense. Our country will soon be stronger, wealthier, and more united than ever before, and the entire planet will be more peaceful and prosperous as a result of this incredible momentum and what we're doing and going to do.
Davos didn't usher in a golden age, did it? Davos dictated DEI, mass migration, and attacks on cow flatulence. It isn't about what they want anymore. It's about what we want. And Trump's ripping up their wish list.
Here's the real change: making the United States the global capital of cryptocurrencies. And what does that mean? More jobs, more innovation, and less dependence on outdated financial systems. And Trump is transforming the American economy into a powerhouse of the 21st century. And the deconstruction of lies is just beginning. You won't believe it. Who is Trump's next target?
I terminated the ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Deal. I call it the Green New Scam. Withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord and ended the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate. We're going to let people buy the car they want to buy. I mean, the Green New Deal was such a total disgrace. And it was conceived of by people that were average students, less than average students, I might add, and never even took a course in energy or the environment. It was just a game. Remember, the world was going to end in 12 years? Remember that? Well, the 12 years has come and gone.
The New World Order won't be set at a summit in Switzerland by bankers, politicians, and economists who look like woolly mammoths. At one point, Trump name-checked the Bank of America CEO. Watch.
Speaking of you, and you've done a fantastic job, but I hope you start opening your bank to conservatives, because many conservatives complain that the banks are not allowing them to do business within the bank, and that included a place called Bank of America. They don't take conservative business. And I don't know if the regulators mandated that because of Biden or what, but you and Jamie and everybody, I hope you're going to open your banks to conservatives, because what you're doing is wrong.
President Trump calling a bank chairman immoral ruffled quite a few feathers in the Davos dining room, but they couldn't do anything about it, and neither can Canada.
We're going to be demanding respect from other nations. Canada, we have a tremendous deficit with Canada. We're not going to have that anymore. We can't do it. I don't know if it's good for them. As you probably know, I say you can always become a state. And if you're a state, we won't have a deficit. We won't have to tariff you, et cetera, et cetera. But Canada has been very tough to deal with over the years. And it's not fair that we should have a $200 billion or $250 billion deficit. We don't need them to make our cars, and they make a lot of them. We don't need their lumber because we have our own forests, et cetera, et cetera. We don't need their oil and gas. We have more than anybody.
America is beginning to reassert its economic advantage. We have the biggest consumer market, more liquid capital than any country, and the largest energy reserves, not to mention a bigger Navy than every nation on earth. And the dollar's the world currency. So this country has an absolute right, an obligation to our own people to set trade terms and not be taken advantage of. NATO's spending, a perfect example.
I'm also going to ask all NATO nations to increase defense spending to 5% of GDP, which is what it should have been years ago. It was only at 2%, and most nations didn't pay until I came along. I insisted that they pay, and they did, because the United States was really paying the difference at that time, and it was unfair to the United States.
Why aren't the Europeans paying more for their own protection? Why are we paying the bulk of NATO's budget? That's like a security guard paying a client to protect them. NATO's an incredible alliance. We just have to get our books in order, so our allies don't get a free ride, because while they get a free ride on defense, they're ripping us off on trade. They tariff American goods, but we barely tariff European goods. And that's about to change. And the Saudis better start pumping.
Saudi Arabia will be investing at least $600 billion in America, but I'll be asking the Crown Prince, who's a fantastic guy, to round it out to around $1 trillion. I think they'll do that because we've been very good to them. And I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil.
And if the Saudis don't round up $400 billion, Trump will visit Israel first.
You said you're going to ask for $1 trillion. Will Saudi Arabia be the first foreign country you will visit, since they invest in that much?
Well, if they do that, I would, yeah. I would be glad to do that. I did it
As you know, 4 years ago, we did $450 billion, meaning the money all goes to American companies, and they purchase jets and they purchase computers and everything else. And we did $450 billion, and I guess we're at 650.
Trump shopping around his first foreign trip to the highest bidder. And it's not like he's getting the money, you're getting the money. These are investments in America. Trump's treating our country like an NFL free agent. You know, I really want to sign with Buffalo, but LA's offering a much better package. Globalism's over, and we're taking Davos down with it. We're not going to let multinationals outsource production and sell product back into the U.S. duty-free. We need to protect our workers and supply chains. Fiat Chrysler met with Trump, and now they're restarting a Jeep plant in Illinois and building Dodge Durangos in Detroit. Samsung is about to move production from Mexico into the United States. Canada wants to help Trump restart the Keystone Pipeline. And the president just lifted a pause on liquefied natural gas exports so we can sell the Europeans natural gas and wean them off Russian energy, which makes our country wealthier, our allies safer, and slows down the Russian war machine, forcing Putin to the negotiating table. And by the way, check your 401k. The S&P 500 just hit a fresh record high. And guess where Marco Rubio's first trip is as Secretary of State? Panama. What a powerful message to send. Things are moving again, and the administration's in the zone.
At any point, did you doubt you would be back here?
So it's a great question. It's something I don't think about. I never really thought about it. I don't think about, gee, will I be back? I just do it. I get it done. I get things done. I'm good at getting things done.
Constitutional scholar Jonathan Turley says Trump's not making surgical strikes, but saturation bombing Washington. Obama promised to fundamentally transform America, but Trump is actually doing it. There was this myth that there was gridlock in Washington. The country was divided and that change was slow. That just gave professional politicians an excuse for 3-day work weeks. They didn't want you to know real change was possible, because then we'd raise expectations and they'd have to actually do their jobs and actually represent our interests instead of their own. But now they have an excuse for their lack of action. The New York Times says it's the return of the king. Trump embraces trappings of the throne. The media wants you to think only a tyrant could get things done in D.C. They want you to think what Trump's doing is not in the American tradition. He's a wannabe dictator. No, he's not. Just because he's playing with a sword doesn't make him Napoleon. This is what it looks like when you beat 4 cases, survive 2 assassination attempts, and sweep every battleground. A president with political capital who knows how to use it with gusto and precision. Lawyer Mike Davis told the New York Times, quote, "This election was a referendum on Trump, on MAGA, and on lawfare, and the American people rendered their verdict on November 5th. He earned power, and now he's going to use it like Democrats. Democrat presidents use their power to put foreign nationals on welfare, bribe voters with college loan bailouts, and print money to dish out to donors. Democrats did all of that after their elections. They never campaigned on any of that. They tried to hide it. The difference is Trump's doing exactly what he promised to do, and the voters ratified the mission. We're living in a time of populist rebellion. Journalist Carl Zinsmeister says this: voters let loose a genuine bull into the china shop of the ruling class, those who have dominated public life for a generation, declaring that the sky is falling. Maybe their sky's falling. Maybe their time at the top's over, but yours isn't. Your time at the top is just getting started. The power is being returned to the people. No one can tell you what bank to use, what car to buy, what words to say, what food to eat, which shows to watch. We're the only ones who can get in our own way. So put your chin up and your shoulders back. Today was a good day. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.
Green New Deal, a monumental sham. Trump is carefully dismantling these reckless policies in a responsible manner and giving Americans the opportunity to choose their own paths. Finally, we have a leader who knows exactly which pieces to move strategically and effectively in this political game. And what will Trump's next move be? Check it out. By announcing investment in the heart of America. He's making sure our economy continues to grow and thrive, ensuring prosperity. And Trump is playing the game like no one else. That's how you indeed put America first. And this is the moment for personal action. Trump is leading a common sense revolution, and it's up to us to support this change. Let's keep fighting for a country where freedom, justice, and merit prevail. And if you believe that the future is ours, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share your thoughts with your friends. Thank you all very much. Until our next video.